today's episode of Bon Appetit, we interview Jon Marchaterre, Jon Marshy, Jonathan.
Yeah, on this very Christmas special.
On this very Christmas special episode of All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Is apparently Jon Marchaterre.
Anyways, Jon Marchaterre, he's a strength and conditioning coach, and he works out of Just Performance Fitness in Danielson, Connecticut. Sweet place, definitely go there. Maybe perhaps get a membership. It's pretty cool.
Yes, absolutely. We talk in this episode about quick fixes in training and fitness and health and why they don't work. We talk about a bunch of other random stuff, training in general, and I think that's about it. Oh yeah, this is not this episode. He's very abrasive. He's very blunt. Right?
Oh yeah,
he speaks his
definitely
mind.
Put the kids in the closet for this one, or whatever you do with your kids. I don't know. I'm not a parent for a reason. Okay. Anyways,
yeah, and the song for the week is "Hey Mrs. Claus" by Hayden Stearns, and
very topical.
That's right.
Yeah, good choice.
Hey, I tried.
All right, and then here's us talking to Jon.
Dude, I was watching the game
speed.
where the brawl at the palace.
Oh,
Did you ever
shit.
see that? I was watching that shit live when it happened. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm in my living room, edge of my seat. Like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Why is Ron Artest in the stands?
Dude, yeah.
Punching fans.
I was going to say,
God.
old basketball fights were I wish they would just let basketball fights happen again.
They
Honestly,
do
pretty
literally, Ron Artest is laying on the scorer's table. He's just laying there, and somebody had thrown a beer. And I guess he may have got a glimpse of who did it, but it hit him in the chest. He got up, fucking jumping over rows in the stands, fucking hammering fans.
Oh
Dude,
my God.
Steven Jackson jumped in and fucking mollywopped somebody. Then it was like, dude, some fan was like on the court and ran into Ben Wallace and looked at him and like squared up. And Wallace was like,
Dude,
drops him. I was like, oh, fuck.
it's like normal people too. It's you're watching them play, and then you get on the court, and you're like, oh, and you look up because everybody's fucking 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like on TV, they look all fucking normal. And
then you go to a game, like going to a game, you look out on the court, and you're like, holy shit!
yeah, giants.
Like this is a
Well,
bunch
it's like
of giants.
it's like the same thing. I think who was it that said like every Olympics game should have like an average dude doing
Yeah,
like, the
for
running.
comparison. No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because like no one like you watch the Olympics, you're like, oh yeah, everyone's running fast, but you don't understand
How fast?
Yeah, have someone do one of those like what's it called when in the rings when they hold
Oh my
themselves
God,
out like
yeah.
that,
Dude, I can hold it for like a second and a half,
dude,
and I'm in
makes
better
no
shape
sense.
than everyone I know.
yeah. I mean, that's like, and yeah, exactly.
And I like
Yeah.
those guys do it and like look around and hold it and like they
Yeah,
could 2-3 minutes probably
you
hold
could
it.
you could take like a 20th place Olympian and put them in a room of just normal people, and they would still be the best performer ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
in that
not
room.
even close.
You're like it's just insane to what level that these people actually perform in.
It's best athletes in the world are male gymnasts, hands down. And
It's
not
amazing.
because females aren't as good, but because they're not as strong or
Mm.
as fast. The guys are doing the same shit, but they're little fucking monsters.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is
I
mean,
kind
they-
of nuts.
I'm
Yeah.
a small dude, and they all come up to my nipple, but they're very small. Like same with female gymnasts, male gymnasts, very small stature.
I mean, it makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
it's like advantageous to be smaller as a gymnast. I mean, you're doing fucking flips.
But
you know?
there's no one moves like that. Those guys are so strong.
It's crazy. And then you'll see like people who just like
shit.
I've seen just like videos of gymnasts like who've never really touched weights. They've just been doing gymnast shit, whatever they do.
Biggest
They're like,
shoulders you've ever
Oh
seen.
yeah, huge shoulders, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've never really benched before. Fucking flat bench like 225 for reps." It's like, what the
I
fuck?
think the only athlete that I would say overall is a better athlete is an Olympic wrestler.
Oh, I feel like wrestling. You just
I think all around, like as an all around athlete, that Jordan Burroughs is probably better than anybody on the planet at everything.
oh, I mean, he's just first of all, he's just an insane athlete.
Well,
Like,
did you see what he did to Ben Askren?
I did not.
So
Ben
Ben
Askren is an insanely good wrestler. So
Is one of the best you'll see, and Jordan Burroughs teched him. Like
That's
He
crazy.
beat him. I think it was 15-0, and it
Holy
wasn't
shit.
close. He
What the-
did whatever he wanted and talked shit and kept doing it.
That's like a fucking slap to the face, honestly. Especially if you're Ben Askren, you're like, that's not gonna happen to me. You know what I mean?
Well, it just shows that there's levels because Ben Askren in MMA is an amazing wrestler.
Mhm.
And he goes to wrestle with the best wrestler in the world and gets fucking beat to dog shit.
Yeah.
It was bad to watch. Like, it wasn't fun to watch because he looked like a defenseless child.
That's
with his fucking dad bod.
Dude, yeah, it's true. He does. Like, he
dude.
doesn't look it, but it's so funny because, like, wrestling is like you're basically just flexing your whole body for the entirety of a match.
If he grabbed you, you would hate your life, but he looks like shit.
Yeah, it's funny. He does. He's got a dad bod.
That's all diet. All diet. He probably eats fucking dicks and cheeseburgers.
Oh, man. You know who else eats dicks and cheeseburgers is average people, and they're looking for above average results. So,
Hold on. I need whiskey.
So
this is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Not me, just most of the people listening.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's important to talk about, though, man, because.
No, it is.
So people want really quick fixes, and they want them now, and they're confused why, people like celebrities and stuff look a certain way. What's like the most common thing?
Steroids.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely.
Many things are possible through the magic of steroids. Sit around the fire, children.
Yes.
So, like, let's go into this first. What's like some of the most absurd things, without naming names, Jonathan, what's some of the most absurd stuff you've had come into your lap where it's like, oh my God, this is not going to happen?
All right. So it was this year, and it was probably 6 months ago.
Wait, so hold up. So for reference, how long you been training people?
Since I was 18, I'm 34.
Okay, so that many years.
Yeah, lots of years. I'm not counting, so don't fucking ask me.
Yeah, no, I didn't count either. That's why I just said that many years.
But so
that many years, and then this year was the year you're like, holy fuck.
Like, I have a fucking headache talking about it.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
This girl, let's say her name's Natasha, because her real name's fucking Natasha.
Oh.
No, it's not.
No, it really is, and I fucking hate her.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, we can call it out names on this.
That's fine. We got no last name.
This is one of those things where it deserves to be fucking said, because I've never dealt with a more delusional fucking thing in my life. So this girl comes to me, and I don't care if it's a girl or a guy, just be realistic with me.
Yeah.
So let's say I think she was 5'3", and I want to say she was like 180-ish.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, oomping.
Okay.
Oompa
meatball.
Yeah.
Oh, Natasha.
Yeah, kind of floof, like one of those.
Yeah.
So she goes, well, the state police have a test in 3 months, and I want to go. I'm like, that's not going to happen. Like, right away. Like, that was my answer. I was like, I can't fucking do that in 3 months. Like, even if you're the best athlete in the world, that's not going to fucking happen. Like, I saw what walked in the door. Like, no. Like, well, not just for athletic reasons, because she wouldn't meet the height and weight requirements.
Okay.
Like, I can't healthily take that much weight off you to get you to meet.
And also just like the level of commitment and like consistency that would be needed.
Well, and that's where
if you were a freak.
Yeah, that's where I'm going into. So day one, I have her in. I'm like, okay, I know what the standards are. I have all the stuff in front of me for what she has to do to pass a physical. The mental, no, that's on her. But the physical, I knew what she had to do. It was like 23 push-ups, like 32 sit-ups, and the 1.5 mile run had to be, I think, under 15, maybe.
Okay. That's pretty fast. It's pretty fast for someone who's 5'3".
For a 1.5 miles.
Well, I was going to 1.5 miles and 15. That's like long for a 2 mile.
Yeah. That's like that's like a 9-minute mile. Maybe a little higher. Like I
guess I'm picturing that.
For somebody who doesn't run.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about someone who's 5'3", 180 pounds, and they want to all of a sudden start running a 9-minute mile when they fucking.
I could handstand walk that in that time.
Sure, not everyone is as great.
So like, what the fuck? So I was like, okay, well, let's see. We're gonna run you through some tests. Let's see what you got. So I ran her through what she was gonna do for the PT test. The push-ups, I think she got like 9. Out of 23.
That's already
32 sit-ups. I think she got like 7 or 8.
Oh
shit.
And I was like, okay, well, that's strength work. I can probably deal with that in this time. But let's see the run. I was like, do me one favor. I don't care how bad it is. Just don't walk. And I say that because my friend Craig is an instructor at the police academy in Connecticut. He's a state cop, has been for years. He's actually the coordinator for the TAC team on the East Coast now.
Okay.
Great guy. Was a workout partner of mine till we were probably 25 and schedules didn't work, but fucking, and he's a freak. He's a complete, I think he's 5'10", 200 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, runs like a fucking 5 and change mile, but
What
can
the
squat
fuck?
400
Crazy.
pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Who is this guy?
well, and he's actually
Craig, huh?
Craig Bresniak.
Oh, okay. Full name shout outs.
Yep,
Love it.
good trooper, good guy. But he's also like the best marksman they have. Like he's good at fucking everything.
Wow. You know,
And-
Craig, a little round of applause for you.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And he actually came up with all the protocol for the PT in the police academy and what the TAC team does for testing to make it now.
That's
So
awesome.
it's not push-ups and shit anymore. There's wall balls and sandbag carries and all sorts of shit.
Okay, some functional stuff.
So I'm like, I tell this girl, I'm like, listen, just don't walk. I don't care what you do. I don't care how bad it hurts. Just don't walk. It's only 1.5 miles.
Mm.
Okay. 1.5 minutes in, she's fucking walking.
Oh, no.
So I let her finish her 1.5 miles, which took 27 minutes.
Oh, my God.
That's
Uh-huh.
a long fucking time.
She must have just walked the whole time.
Pretty much. I think she ran for 45 seconds or so.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, this is bad, like real bad. I'm like, you know what? Why don't you come back in 2 days? We'll give it a shot again. And this is me like sick to my stomach, wanting to not waste my time, but give her the benefit of the doubt.
And she's paying you, so it's like, well, fuck it, I guess.
Comes back in 2 days and does the same fucking thing. The numbers
Yeah.
weren't, the run might have been 1.5 minutes shorter, but besides that, like walked and just was a complete waste of time. And it was just such a headache. And then I had to deal with like, she was telling me that I'm mean. And I'm like, I'm not mean. I'm realistic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being an asshole. I'm just telling you that there is absolutely not a fucking chance in the world that
I'm not mean. I'm just
No,
like, look, realistically.
But think about it. Yeah,
you're
realistically,
not
there's
gonna make it.
like you need a year. You need a year to make those numbers.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do this in 3 months.
And so I had to deal with her fucking whining about being mean, and my client and the other coach that I actually paid for her cert was Nikki Loisel. She's one of my clients. You've probably seen her. She works for me now too, and she's the one who brought her to me. She was like, "Well, I want you to work with my coach first before I even think about it because
Yeah,
I want to see the protocol. I want to see what we're going to go through." Like,
absolutely.
I'm new. She just got her NASM, so she was nervous to do anything and take it on by herself. So,
Mhm.
Correct. Yeah, I can
That
see.
makes sense.
I can see that.
and for me, it's more mental. Like, I could give a fuck about those times.
Mm.
Are some of them real hard to work with because it's not realistic? Sure. But I just wanted to see if you just wouldn't quit. The same thing they do in the academy. If you quit, I can't do anything with you.
Yeah.
And that's where like I've worked myself into a niche. I don't work with the people I don't want to work with.
Mm.
I'm not like, if you need your hand held every step of the way, go fuck yourself.
How do I phrase
I
this?
do, because
Tactfully.
it doesn't work. It's just not going to work. I don't believe that everybody deserves the body that they want, and I don't believe that everybody deserves to be in shape. It takes work.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's diet. It's fucking hard work in the gym.
Yeah.
Like the whole blood, sweat, and tears bullshit is real.
Yeah, I think personally, I think that anyone who's willing to put the work in
Totally
deserves it.
absolutely.
But
100%.
for some people, there has to be a mental transition where you go, and for some people that's a lot longer
Yeah.
of a time. But if you want to be a certain way and you want to perform a certain way and you want to look a certain way, there's definitely a bit of a mental shift that needs to happen.
A lot of the time, day one, you can see it.
Mm.
Some people, and it's very, very rare. Like Drew really surprised me
Oh, Andy.
because at first, like he was like, "Oh, I want to get stronger. and you told me like, oh, he's a skinny guy."
Yep.
And the first couple videos he sent me of like squatting, I was like, "Sorry, Drew." And then I gave him some cues, and luckily he fixed it. Like that was
Yeah.
really, really good about it. I was like, okay, he's probably one of like 3 cases I've had where I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure," and then he proved me wrong.
Yeah.
But besides that, like a lot of the time, I'm like, I can kind of see it day one. Like if I put you on a treadmill to do XYZ and you fucking quit on me, I'm like, oh boy, that's not worth my time, because I try not to fucking destroy people day one. I just want to see if you have a little fucking set of guts.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about like a person like Andrew is that like he wants to improve.
Yeah.
He wants to see the best of himself.
And that's the best skill to have. I don't care how athletic you are. I don't care how smart you are. That doesn't fucking matter. If you want to get better, that's the person I want to help.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
are you capable of being
Yeah.
trained, or like, are you capable of learning something?
Like the
new?
person, like even you're fucking annoying as shit with your questions at 6
I
a.m.
am. Yep.
But that's the fucking person that I want to train, because I'm like, oh, they fucking care.
Yeah.
So I'll wake up, get some caffeine, and then reply.
Yeah. You're like, why are you? Oh,
Yeah.
dude, how many months has it? I mean, it's probably been almost a year at this point, and I'll still sometimes text you on a Tuesday. It
doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It's my day off. Fuck you.
Yeah.
At this point, what I do is I just don't respond until I'm awake and have caffeine.
Yeah.
I'm
Does
like,
that
okay.
so like when I text you, do you get it even if I send it at an hour that like you're not like
Most of the time, because
I've been trying to be good.
I
about
have
that.
to. Dude, I have a daughter. I have to keep my phone on.
Yeah.
I can't put it on
good
silent
point.
because if I miss something, then I'm a real asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to be there at all times.
So like no, and just a lot of work stuff, like diet stuff and all that. Like I kind of have to be around because if I have somebody it's 10 o'clock at night and they're out drinking, I'm like, oh fuck it. Well, can I do this, and this? I'm like, oh fuck you, but yes.
Yeah.
I have to be able to. I have to
Situational, you know?
respond in some fucking way to kind of not ruin all the work they've done.
Yeah, well, I mean, see that just is kind of a testament to how much commitment you'll have for someone that actually wants to put the work in.
Yeah. If it's somebody I know that's just like, oh, I'll buy your program or I'll train with you twice a week. I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? The effort you give me is what you're getting back. So if I see that message at fucking 11 and I know you're a fucking mediocre fucking half waste my time person, I'm like, put it down. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
I'll reply when I
Not
feel
worth
like
it.
it.
I'm just gonna go take a shit instead.
Well, I think that's a good point though, because I feel like a lot of the time, like with like people say like, oh, I want to get in shape or whatever, or I want to do this, but then you could try to go and do it, and you're like, oh fuck, you mean I have to do this for like every day for like the next couple
You
years?
mean this is going to be
I don't want to
hard?
fucking do that. Like, do you really want to do it? Like, you only have so much time. You're
Dude,
gonna have to put time. in.
Funny enough, an ex-girlfriend of mine messages me, I want to say every other week, I need your help. I want a bigger butt. I want to do this. I'm like, all right, okay, you got to lift weights. She's like, I don't want to do that. Like, well, then you don't want a bigger butt.
Yep, there goes that.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. It's like, okay, do you want to go and exercise? It's pretty straightforward. It's like, just do this consistently. No? Okay, then.
It's
like
been going on for like probably 2 years at this point, and she's a fucking nice girl, so I just entertain it. But it's always like, I want to do this. Okay, well, come to the gym. I'll help you. All right, we'll be there Monday. Oh, I can't, my kid. Or I can't this. I can't. I don't know. It's always something. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to fucking, no. Oh, you're messaging me again? Good. Never mind.
Yeah, it's like you got to fucking schedule something out. If you really want to do it, you'll make time for it. It's like everybody, you got
Simple.
a kid, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, think about it.
How many
Like,
fucking things are you
all
doing?
these people are like, well, I don't like, I work 50 hours a week. Yeah, well, I work 80. And
Yeah.
I still fucking find time to train 5 days a week, twice a day. So what's your excuse?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can squeeze it in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
dude,
How much time
absolutely.
do you spend scrolling Facebook?
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
good point.
dude.
Your
Or
fucking phone
Instagram.
tells you now.
Yeah,
Your phone tells you
you're
now.
literally your phone. If you
Yeah.
have an iPhone, your phone will literally tell you your screen time, and you
Yeah.
will know how much time you're literally
like
wasting
the-
just
like,
looking at your phone.
So you get home, maybe you cook dinner, and then you spend how much time sitting on your fucking thumb scrolling Facebook?
Yeah.
You couldn't have fucking put a little caffeine or water in your system and gone to the fucking gym for even fucking 20 minutes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
20 people. I think the biggest thing
It's time.
is time,
Absolutely.
and I think people don't realize how little time they actually need to benefit themselves.
Dude, I can absolutely fucking ruin any human being on the planet in 10 minutes. Never mind fucking 45 where you can kind of pace yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pace yourself and get some like good like work and shit going.
But that's
on.
the thing. Like intensity is my biggest factor when I'm programming, when I'm
Mhm.
training.
Oh, I noticed that.
Yeah. Especially if I'm training, the workout I sent you the other day, the deadlift workout.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no
That's
time to
murderous.
fucking bullshit. I don't have time to rest between sets. I'm just fucking working because let's say I had a 5, a 6, and I had to teach an 8 a.m. and a 10 a.m. class. And I had to fucking find a time to work out between that. So you got to fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. And that's the thing is you push intensity. It's like, oh, you don't have time? All right. Yeah, well, it's going to be intense as shit for whatever it is, 30 minutes. Okay.
Especially if there's weight training involved. Dude, if you work out and you work really, really intensely, that cardio shit don't need to happen for an average guy. For someone
Yeah.
who wants to look a certain way, sure, you got to do the boring shit. But if it's somebody who's just like, oh, I need to get strong, I need to work out, I want to feel better, dude, like 10 to 20 minutes, fucking bang it out and you're done.
That's the thing. And like anything is better than nothing. So it's like, oh, I'm only going for 20 minutes. But it's like, fucking do something.
I don't
Yeah.
care if you're at work and you do fucking 10 burpees in the bathroom twice a day.
Yeah.
That's better than not doing it.
That's very
You
true.
look like
I'm
a
sure
fucking weirdo,
everyone-
but
I'm sure everyone can't wait to get their hands on the bathroom floor, but
you know what? Trust me, there's unvaccinated kids out there. The bathroom floor is not what I'm worried about.
Exactly.
I love how that always makes it.
Oh, it will.
It's just too easy.
Did you see there's a meme out there there, and it's like it says, "Oh, this is the unvaccinated kids section at the store," and it's a Halloween section with all the little skeletons.
Oh yeah, it's like all the skeletons
it's
and like
fucking
all
amazing.
like the hell babies and stuff.
Or
like
somebody posted one today. It was like, "Oh, my name's Karen." She had the manager haircut.
Oh yeah,
and this is my unvaccinated child. She was carrying a little skeleton around. It was the two best things in one. It was great.
Oh my god,
Brutal.
So one thing I notice is that people look when they're looking for quick fixes. At least something I've noticed recently, which is unfortunate, is they start thinking about surgery as opposed to lifting or like exercising or modulating anything, and they somehow think that surgery is going to fix their whole issues. Now, like your perspective, why is that?
I'm just trying to figure out why pain and a possible opioid addiction is better than sweating a little.
It's true. And if you think about it too, you're spending how much money on surgery, and you're going to spend all of your time making that money, so you might as well spend it in the fucking gym.
I think tits are like 10 to 20 grand.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Never mind
like
anything
20 for
else.
like primo tits too.
Like good. Yeah, good ones.
Like you're putting in time to pay that off. Just put in time at the gym and keep your fucking money.
But what do the tits matter if you got a beer belly under them?
That's very true.
Ooh.
And that's where people are getting like they're getting lipo and they're getting butt implants and they're getting their waist taken in. And
the fake butt thing really for me is like why? Because it's like that's a muscle. You know?
Yeah,
so you can
it's not like
that.
boobs. Like
It's
boobs, I understand. Boobs, I understand. I'm like, look, you didn't have boobs. You want boobs?
Yeah.
Here you go. But if you don't have a butt, you can grow a butt.
yeah, it takes time and it takes effort, but those are the things, those kind of people, I think people who want a quick fix they get discouraged too easy. And that's where you're probably actually looking into like, maybe there's some therapy needed mentally there more
That's
than,
true, yeah.
and it's not even just trying to down talk and be an asshole.
Well, it's not even a bad thing to go to therapy. If you need it,
you need it. You need it. Dude,
People need an outlet, you know what I mean?
Like my thought is if you think that getting surgery is going to really somehow solve your insecurities, it won't.
It will temporarily, but
yeah, there you go.
let's say you get your fucking butt done and your hips taken in. Maybe you look like fucking Kim Kardashian for 6 weeks, but when all the nachos and beer and not doing anything catch up, then you're Kim Kardashian with a fupa, and no one likes that.
It's true though.
Like, think about it. Big fake tits, a big sloppy fat ass, you're going to look fucking stupid.
Yeah. And I mean, it's true. And you're not going to feel any better. And then when you're older and you're like, oh, I want to do something about it, it's you can't move properly because you have implants underneath your
Imagine being in a
Yes.
wheelchair because your fake ass exploded.
Yeah.
And that's legitimate. Like,
yeah.
Like, do you ever see the, it was on MTV way back in the day. You guys were probably like 4. I was 30.
That's false. But
a guy got calf implants.
Oh God!
what the
yeah,
fuck?
see,
I think I've seen
girls aren't
something
the
like
only
that.
ones doing it.
So,
Guys,
no, the guy was, this guy was like one of the first ones I ever saw. I saw him get it before girls did. And he was a guy in shape, like lifting weights.
but he had small calves.
He had Josh Pratt legs.
Oh.
Just big quads, little baby calves. Sorry, Josh.
Oh God!
So he got calf implants. And then, like, I don't know if his body rejected them or they got repoed, but something happened. He got him taken out. And I think his body rejected him, but it was bad, man. Like, imagine that. Now you have even smaller legs.
Dude.
Oh,
No. Hey,
Yeah,
Cavs-
see, that kind of shit can backfire like that.
Yeah.
You know, like this whole time, you're like, I really want to look a certain way, and you like fucking surgically do it, and now it's even worse than if you did nothing.
It's called body dysmorphia,
Mm-hmm.
which I think now some cases are much worse than others, but I believe any male or female that works out hard has a small case of it. I know
Yeah.
I certainly do. If I look in the mirror, I see a fucking 130-pound kid. Like when I graduated high school, it was like 135, 140 pounds.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty similar. Like I'll look in the mirror, no matter how big I've gotten or whatever. I just have this image of what I want to
absolutely.
see, and then I look in the mirror.
I'm always like, oh well, I can fix this, or this needs to be a little sharper.
oh, my left leg is smaller than my right leg.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean, I fucking sent you a message like that. You're like, shut up.
Yep, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it'll happen, just takes time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like even at my biggest, I was like 182 pounds.
That's
Holy
fucking
shit.
beefy for a guy like
Yeah.
you.
Dude, I still had
Holy fuck.
abs. I was a fucking bowling ball. I was
nuts,
body. It was when I was like 21. I was bodybuilding.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm starting to do a couple of shows. So I just finished powerlifting. I broke a AU record for bench press.
Okay.
I benched 417 with the clips in a shirt. So it was gear lifting, but I was 148 pounds.
Holy
that's
fuck.
insane. Yeah.
So it was
48.
But you know what?
hell?
I couldn't squat or deadlift it. I was such a fucking pussy.
Dude, I was gonna say benching 417, like that's fucked up. That's not trivial. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I was such a pussy. I don't think I could bench 300 now. I can squat and deadlift my balls off, but it's because once I realized how to really train and how to get good at stuff, I was like, oh, benching's stupid.
yeah, well, because it's like, oh, well,
But
that's just cool to be like, yeah, I can bench.
yeah, but the whole body dysmorphia thing, man, it's like you can only do these two things and it's going to work, or you're going to get surgery and you're going to have a mental illness and probably need to get it fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a whole root cause of getting surgery in the first place and thinking that somehow that's going to change.
Daddy didn't hug you enough?
Yeah. And like, I mean, that can
Or
be
too much.
Yeah. And that can be a real issue. And it's like, oh, fuck. Like,
It's called, I call it stripper syndrome. Think about it. And can apply like almost anywhere. Think about, do you know any strippers?
I do.
They're whores, but I know a bunch of them.
Jeez.
But
Some of them are really nice, John. Come
yeah.
on. That's their personality
That's-
and that's their occupation. That's what they want to do.
blah.
Yeah, that's what they want. I don't know if that's what
But-
Well,
they want.
makes them a lot of money.
They live in this world where either and it's just a generalization. It's more of a joke than anything. But if you think about it, it applies to a ton of them. Either they got too many hugs or not enough.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me it doesn't
man.
So many
apply.
hugs, you liked it, or you didn't get enough.
I
and you want
guarantee.
some.
I guarantee if you talk to enough strippers, they either were ignored as kids and completely outcast, or unfortunately they got like sexually assaulted by a family member.
Oh, man.
yeah.
That's the biggest
Hate to see
bummer.
it.
But doesn't it make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it does.
yeah.
I mean,
Too many hugs are not enough.
Yeah.
No
It all
one's
boils
doing
down
that.
to those two things.
There's nobody doing it to just get through college.
No.
Well, I don't
mean-
know. I met a stripper, okay? And
Is this a cruise?
no,
feel
it was not on the cruise. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just, I had met one and she was paying her way through college by stripping.
I
And
feel like now it's like a cliche.
You said
know what I mean?
sucking dicks wrong.
oh,
Oh.
and, let's switch gears.
payoff.
This is the R-rated version.
Yeah, let's switch gears here. So hold up. So what is like one of your least favorite quick fixes that's out right now? I'll say mine. Either skinny tea or waist trainers. Those are probably my two least favorite. How about for you?
I mean, any multi-level marketing is what they try to pass it off as, but they're all getting fucking sued. Advocare got sued. Herbalife got sued.
Hey man, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's a funnel
Yeah.
where it all
Oh my
flows
god, dude!
down.
That's
to,
like that whole Vima shit, dude. I
I
remember
know, dude. I am an unfortunate
when
product
we were in
of
college,
trying
he brought
sell
me to some
Vima.
like conference
I
thing.
go to a seminar and
Dude,
they're like,
Oh
hey,
no.
this
I was
is like
there
a
for
cult,
fucking-
but we sell stuff.
Dude, I was there for like maybe like 5 minutes before I was like, "Hey, Rand, like this is not."
Yeah.
This is like-
Dude, this is where my naiveness
That
and
happens.
my gullibleness.
But you learned.
yes,
Yeah.
that was the thing. Is
I
like
just-
it took me a while to learn, but I did learn.
I had a similar thing happen. Now, it wasn't with supplements or like selling anything, but I went on vacation. I went to Daytona Beach
Okay.
with a friend. And it was just like his parents' timeshare. And they're like, oh, yeah, we got to go to this conference thing, whatever, because we were thinking about buying it. And what the fuck with these people? Have you ever seen Pain and Gain?
yeah,
with The
yeah,
Rock.
yeah.
Dude, it was like the fucking doer conference.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, what the fuck is this? And the lady's talking to us, and I literally stood up and I was like, would you shut the fuck up? And I walked out.
That would be
my
something
God,
you would
dude.
do,
I was like,
John.
what the fuck? I was like, how? And I was talking to my buddy who's been a childhood friend for life. And I was like, how do you drag me? He was like, dude, we had to. Like, it was just part of the program. I was like, I'd rather fucking cut my dick off and throw it in the street.
dude.
Like, it was fucking terrible. It was the worst thing. Like, I was literally sitting there looking at this lady like, you gotta be fucking kidding.
Dude,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just
And
so.
I'm like
so
half
bad.
hungover from the night before.
Anyone that I did drag into that, that's funny. This is one of these moments where my girlfriend at the time was like, "Look, like this isn't like what you think it is. Like it's not good. It's not what they say it is. It is a pyramid scheme." And I was like, "No,
Oh, no,
I'm
no.
right.
Dude.
You're wrong." And that was just a very, very good case of me just being completely wrong and not
So,
seeing.
quick applicable story. So we were talking about like the whole Daytona Beach thing, and then we were talking about strippers before that.
Okay, good. But segue back into the stripper.
So,
Sure. Why
so
not?
the reason I
together.
was hungover that morning for the meeting is because we're in
Oh.
Daytona Beach and we went out. We ended up at a strip club till God knows what hour.
As you do.
Yeah, I think I was 24, 25. I end up leaving with a stripper.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
And now all my friends go back to the timeshare, hang out.
Trainer comes
Yeah,
in.
hang out in a jacuzzi.
Too many
They
hugs or not
fucking
enough?
hang out. She got too many.
Oh.
So she's like, I just have to stop somewhere on the way out. I'm like, all right. She's going to go back to my timeshare because we have jacuzzis and all that shit. So we're going to hang out. She's going to bring a couple friends for my friends.
Wow.
Good night.
This sounds like a great night.
It sounded good. She stopped at her fucking Coke dealer's house.
Oh,
And
no.
so I'm sitting in the car. She goes inside. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on. Dude, this bitch comes running out with the Coke dealer chasing her. I was like, oh, shit. I got out of the car. Dude, I ran 3.5 miles back to the fucking timeshare. I get back there sweating, dehydrated because I'm shit-faced. And my friends are like, dude, what the fuck happened to you? You look like hit by a car. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going to bed.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was a fucking nightmare.
That's
So that was my experience at Daytona Beach.
Okay.
Well, all right.
It was a good time. Now we're back on topic.
Yeah,
Vacation
at some point.
So hold up. So back to great segue, but back to like so quick fixes that you think are just an absolute waste of time.
Yeah, the multi-level marketing of any kind, because it's just, especially now, because now a lot of them are like, well, you can do this or you can fast.
Oh, the fasting thing. Dude, and this is a fucking amazing, like, oh my God, what is happening kind of moment. Talking to this guy, big carnivore guy. Whatever.
Jesus Christ,
do your
I know
thing.
who it is.
Do your thing. But he gets sick, right? He gets sick. And he says, I'm going to fast for days.
What do you mean?
Meaning he's going to fast for days.
He might as well go stand in the middle of Bank Street.
Dude. And you know what he said? You know what he said? Because I was like, hey, dude, like some of the things, because he had this whole question on his Instagram.
Like he didn't drink water?
No, he drank water.
Just a water fast, like no food, no solid food.
Yeah, because like he was like, oh, like haven't you? Because I messaged him, I was like, oh, I like to make sure I get a decent amount of food and try to eat what I can, and I try to drink a ton of water and maybe some tea if my throat is sore. And he's like, oh, really? You haven't heard of like starving a cold and feeding a whatever the fucking ancient history saying is? What is the saying?
There is no saying. He's a fucking idiot.
Dude,
Yeah,
okay,
it's like
it's
starving a cold and feeding an illness or something, right? Feeding a virus. I don't know. There's something stupid that he was like, oh yeah, you didn't know that? I was like, I looked it up immediately. And it's like, yeah, this is 100% false. It was made in like the 1700s when they didn't know anything about medicine.
But this is the kind of person who has a belief and runs with it to an extreme where they're trying to tell other people and just hoping they don't Google the shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just even doing carnivore in itself, like unless you have some kind of condition where like
if you don't have an autoimmune disease, it's
yeah.
fucking stupid.
it is, yeah, exactly.
Same thing with going vegan. Like and that's like my
Trigger warning.
yes. No, I am the fucking that girl on the coexist sticker. Like,
Dude, it's true though, because like it's just an elimination diet. So if you have something that you're not responding well to and you fucking stop eating it, you're gonna feel better.
if you don't have an illness, there's no reason to cut certain things out. And like carnivores, typically it's because they have like GERD or like an autoimmune disease. So GERD is like a gastro reflux disease.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
where you can't process fucking sugars and like heavy carbs the right way.
Damn, that must suck.
Yeah. But I love carbs and ice cream and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking
But yeah, like our autoimmune issues or like there's certain cancers and stuff like that where keto does really well. But besides that, like that's
It's like
just,
those are very specific cases.
well, and
very specific.
those are very specific diets. The reason people get hooked on them is because like, oh, I do this, I lost weight. Yeah, it's because you're gonna die soon. Like you're starving.
Or because here's the thing, it's like people, they'll be like, because he constantly is posting on his story, like, oh, like, look at this person, they lost 50 pounds in 2 months from going on
They're
carnivore.
hungry.
it's good. Yeah, you know how fucking hard it is to eat the same amount of calories just meat.
Impossible,
It's fucking-
almost.
That's
I mean,
tough.
you were saying,
I've done
you're
it, and
eating a
it's
lot of
hard.
ground beef, right? And you're already like, damn, I'm sick of it. Just eating just fucking steak all day, dude. You're not gonna be able to keep.
So
it.
I've done like I don't like to be the guy who's like, okay, that's bad because science says so. For me having that be my only reason, or like these people did it and it doesn't work. Any diet that is out there, I pretty much tried for the sake of just being like, okay, well, this is what will happen. I went vegan I didn't even make it a full week. I made it 6 days. I lost 13 pounds and I thought I was going to die.
Oh my God.
Dude, my skin color was off. There was
You really have to go, like with vegan, I think almost going vegan is harder than going carnivore as far as getting all your nutrients.
100%, because meats are nutrient dense.
Yeah,
and very much so.
And
it's a lot of preparation.
Well,
to go vegan.
the thing
because vegan, like, there's so many like nutrients and shit that like you really got to research.
You got to take a lot of vitamins. Like, you have to do a lot of shit.
Yeah,
and the vegan thing is just such a big crock of shit. The only reason to go vegan is, which they can prove, is that it's more humane.
Yeah,
and that's
and that's the thing.
No, it's not. It's not even close, because have you ever seen soybeans grown and picked?
Oh, it takes
harvested?
so much fucking land.
Dude.
And just like
so
bye-bye to everything that lives around there.
Yeah, so like if you're talking about like harvesting beef or something, you're harvesting an animal. Maybe you don't agree with how it's treated. That's not my fucking problem. It's a clean process. They harvest the animal. It's sold. Maybe there's some chemicals involved you don't like. Okay, I get that.
I also get the whole like, factory farming.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
I was gonna say, like, if you're saying, "Oh, I'm going vegan because I don't agree with that," like, okay, but don't say because it's healthier or because you know what I mean.
Well, no, not
like,
even.
Yeah.
It's not even more humane.
Yeah,
A vegan diet is hands down, and I will say this with all confidence, is the most blood-soaked diet out there.
Ooh.
Think about it.
Ooh,
So
like
you're harvesting animals and stuff. Yeah, they're gonna die. Blood's gonna be shed. For like soybeans and everything to be harvested and produced and everything else, everything needs to die. Insects, animals, fucking all the plant life around it. That's the only thing can exist. Plus, if you're looking at, okay, well, you're going to go vegan, no dairy, no nothing. You have to eat all this shit. Well, that means you eat a lot of synthetic foods, which kill animals, that kill the environment around it. So if you're going to tell me you're going vegan because it's more humane, I'm going to tell you to fuck yourself because you're lying to my face.
Yeah, it's funny because it's also like okay, you're not directly killing an animal, but you're not eating. You know what I mean?
Did you see that video lately?
Indirectly, you are though.
You see that video of the guy fucking getting ready to go hunt with the fucking crying kid and his dad saying they shouldn't kill deer?
No, what?
Whoa,
Oh.
Jeez, what kind of videos are you watching?
So no, it's on Facebook. It's there's a video.
Okay.
There's a video of this. I think the kid's probably 10 or 11, and I think his dad probably showed him how to use tampons at 9 or so.
Oh, nice.
And
wow,
like just
Turn them over.
unfortunately, and I don't want to get political with it, but what people would see as like your liberal type,
Okay.
like that super soft family who needs everybody gets a trophy type shit.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, and I don't side one way or another.
Yeah, we don't either. But I'm letting you tell the story.
I hate politics.
Yeah.
But this kid is crying, saying the guy's an asshole for killing deer, and the guy's like, "But you eat cows." And the kid's fucking, fuck you. And the dad's like, "Yeah, you're a real hero, buddy." Like you have to see the video to like do it any justice.
Yeah.
But it's impressive.
It's like trying to tell a Family Guy side cut. Just
well, the guy was
like,
like, he's like, "Why are you killing deer?" He's like, "'Cause I'm gonna eat it." And then like, a deer's not your fucking pet. Grow up.
Yeah, I mean, so
true.
the whole thing with like veganism, and I think we probably shouldn't dwell on it too much longer, but the one thing is like they say they're trying to save the environment and stuff, but all the plastics that go into, if you actually want to be a healthy vegan,
It's tough.
Which first of all is tough in its own, but if you are, all the plastics in the pills that you have to eat that go into the manufacturing of all the secondary things that you have to buy, there's definitely like a bit of a question.
But even like you go the other way, like going carnivore. Dude, I had such a hard time keeping weight on. I was still fairly strong. My energy was good. My sex drive was good, but like, man, I was losing weight fast. My skin was a little weird. And I was super hydrated. I got enough salt. I made sure I had enough iodine in my system. Like I purposely got Himalayan sea salt with iodine in it to make sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm not eating cruciferous vegetables.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to just get calories in when you're eating just fucking, you know what I mean?
But if you look
so
at
satiating.
yeah, it is. And that's the that's like a good thing. It's like, hey, if you're eating steak, you need to know, I just ate a shitload of food. Now I'm full.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, and that's one of those things like we're like eating till satiated, not till full.
Yeah.
And a lot of people make that mistake. The average person who like even works out, where you go to fucking Applebee's and you eat till you feel like you're gonna pop, like that's probably not good for you.
Yeah.
Going to Applebee's should have been fine, but you fucking ruined it.
Yeah, although going to Applebee's is questionable in and of itself.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well,
no,
another thing.
go to Chili's.
Yeah, exactly. Better Applebee's.
Yeah.
But another thing with like, if you think about it, really, like, if we didn't eat cows, cows would be extinct.
Oh yeah, they'd be gone by now.
By now, like, really the only reason that
I mean,
they're
it's just,
alive.
but there's a circle of life involved. Like, I mean, they're grazing animals. Like, they eat insects. They like.
Yeah, and fertilizer. You know what I mean? Like, they provide a ton of value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just as an animal.
What does soy do besides kill everything around it and lower testosterone levels?
Yeah, it's
synthetic.
It is
synthetic
completely
bullshit.
synthetic. Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the original topic of whether like things that like
original topic.
Yeah,
There's another one of those.
Yeah. So hold up. So so some of the shortcuts that people go to are these super.
And fasting was one we had mentioned but didn't talk about. And fasting is just caloric restriction. Like there's
that
nothing.
includes intermittent fasting.
Yeah, it just sounds sexy. It's like starving yourself. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like.
All you're doing, it's just a fancy word for restricting calories.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything hormonally different. Like, it's just restricting calories. That's it. There's no fancy science behind it. Like, some people, if you do it for religious beliefs like you have, I get it. It's dumb, but I get it. I just fucking
well, the only time that I like really fasting is like if my fucking gut has been acting up or it just kills.
Yeah, but you have
on a small fast.
You also have gut issues.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Most people who do intermittent fasting just don't have gut issues. They're just doing it because it's a cool thing right now.
Or they don't know about it. So they're like, oh, wait a minute, but I think I can lose some weight on intermittent fasting. And it's like, well, no, all you're doing is you're sectioning when you can eat your calories, and that in and of itself limits how many that you can eat, because it's hard to eat that much calories that you used to eat in a much smaller window.
And if you're an athlete, especially a performance-based one, it is fucking difficult. Being mostly a strength and performance athlete, like when I did it, so I tried it for 2 weeks, and it wasn't terrible. My strength suffered incredibly. Like I was weak as shit. Like even doing cardio, I felt drained. And then trying to cram 36, well, what's my maintenance right now? Like 3,600 into an 8-hour span is fucking hard.
Yeah.
No,
that's really tough.
If you're gonna fast at all, I kind of like the biological clock. There's been some research done on it. It's like 12 and 12, which is pretty easy for most people. Like if you can just like, so you don't eat for 3 hours when you're home and then go to sleep.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking easy for the most part.
I mean,
that's actually probably
like
not
really.
No, it's more of an ancestral style of eating.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's probably not a bad idea to not eat directly before going to bed, just to have better sleep.
Yeah, like right now I'm kind of messing with the vertical diet a bit.
Yep.
Just because I want to see how it does. It's just another experiment.
Yeah. Who put that on?
Stan Efferding.
Who is
a fucking monster of a human being.
Yeah.
And a great guy and super, super intelligent.
Yeah.
So he was a millionaire before he was a bodybuilder or a powerlifter.
Really?
I forgot what it was. It's something in the tech world. I believe he invented some kind of cooler and then he did some stuff before that. But the guy was fucking, like, he was a very intelligent, well-off human being before he decided to be a bodybuilder and then become the world's strongest bodybuilder.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Which is nuts. I mean, that guy puts up weight.
And now he started with the vertical diet, which is pretty much just high protein, low, high fat, low gas.
Low gas?
Yeah, so not eating things that cause a large inflammation or gas response.
Interesting.
So there's not a lot of cruciferous veggies for people listening, not a lot of greens. Like there's not a lot of asparagus or green beans because it has a gas response, no Brussels.
Like broccoli.
Yeah, no broccoli. Like I'm eating, like I'm tweaking it a bit because I like fucking veggies and they have nutrients that I kind of rely on.
Yeah.
So I'm still eating like a heavy serving of veggies once a day, usually with dinner with some fish. But it's a lot of like beef and white rice and fish and nuts and again, that Himalayan sea salt with iodine.
Yeah.
Most of it is based on balancing your micronutrients instead of the fucking macro bullshit we've gone through for the last decade.
Yeah.
Because typically if you can, that's where organ function comes in. If your micros are balanced, your organs are function correctly. And then everything else from there is pretty easy. We've kind of done everything in reverse and gone, oh, okay, I need this much protein, but well, my liver hurts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because, people that like prioritize protein, sometimes they'll eat way too much of it.
Yeah. And for the most part, like with the newer research too, you don't need to eat like fucking, if you weigh 150 pounds, you don't need to eat 250 grams of protein.
Yeah, definitely not.
You just got to be patient and keep doing what you're fucking doing.
Yeah, that's the tough thing because people, and especially I think guys probably have this problem more than women. But just like eating way too much protein because they're having the protein shake before and then after, and they're having one before bed. They're having
after is stupid.
Yeah, they're having like 3. Oh, well, that's, you know what? That is like the most popular thing to do.
Well, it's because they
ritualized it.
For 900 years, Flex Magazine was like, oh, there's an anabolic window. For some reason, they didn't take digestion into case or something. I don't know. Like
they're like, wait a minute, you're super inflamed. You should just chug a protein shake immediately after lifting.
Right? Or like the human body doesn't work like what everyone says. So try this instead.
So wait a minute, explain to someone who doesn't know why drinking a protein shake after a workout doesn't help your body. Because here's the common belief.
Well, it does. It does help in an extent, but not the way, again, not how it's said to help.
Okay.
So the nutrients, like you have a digestion period of 45 to 90 minutes, depending on your metabolism, depending on your water intake, depending on your vitamin mineral intake and organ function. Like there's a lot of variables about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have your nutrients will be more bioavailable if you're like, say, half hour before your workout, you get a shake. Maybe you take your pre-workout right after that. By hitting that middle of the end of your workout, well, then that protein and stuff is becoming bioavailable and you're getting the use out of it. After it, you're okay, well, you're going to drink right after your workout, and then you have a 45 to 90-minute window where what are you doing? So,
so that's what they advertise.
And they advertise that 45-minute anabolic window. So you have your shake, and by the time it's digested, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it's almost like it's completely.
It's almost like they made it up so that you would always remember,
and you would buy the shit.
Yeah.
It's just all marketing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of terms like you're going through glycogenesis and stuff like that. There's a lot of terms that like people who are listening, they don't give a fuck about.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're thrown around and it convinces them.
Yeah, but if you have a shake after your workout, you're wasting your time. You have it before your workout, then you're gonna do yourself some fucking justice. Ideally, just eat fucking real food. Powders are okay if you're in a rush or in a pinch or quick. Like I drink them.
Yeah,
not a ton.
they're convenient.
I drink them.
That's what they're for.
I literally just drank one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a supplement. So and the thing is, if you have time and everything's planned out and you're eating food, it's so like at the end of the day, I'm like, oh man, I've eaten this much. Like I don't need to drink a protein shake.
But you said the perfect thing. You said it's a supplement. Supplements are for people who already have their diet in check. And that's why these multi-level marketing things are just such horse shit, because they're giving supplements, which are for people who have their shit together and want to get better at it. They're just giving them right away and be like, that's all you do.
And that's the thing is exactly, they're taking supplements and selling them as replacements as opposed to like, hey, just eat normal
But even
food.
meal replacements, like think about it. You know how hard it is to get those kind of calories in a meal replacement that gives you all the minerals and stuff you need? Why not just eat a nutrient-dense piece of meat with some veggies and maybe some starch and have a good day?
And they really oversimplify the hell out of it to where it's like, well, I mean, can you really say definitively like this is the equivalent of this? You can't. It's just like you got a couple numbers down and you're like, yeah, this, and this. These are the big things. I just think so much shit that happens behind the scenes when like in your body that it's kind of impossible.
Well, people don't understand energy systems, digestive tracts, and you shouldn't expect them to. So what I need to do as a professional is take all those fucking things that I know that are stored in my fucking head and make them 1, 2, 3, nice and easy for you to get. You don't need to understand all the ins and outs unless you ask me about it. Yeah. Besides that, I just need you to know you need to eat these things so you don't fucking die and you get better.
It's true though.
Like that's all eating is. Don't die, get better at what you are as a human being.
So I really do want to touch on, why are waist trainers a waste of time?
Because they fucking hurt you. They do more damage than good.
Right. So
they literally push your organs down.
There we go. That's the stuff
like
we need.
The shit, like when you're standing here and you're erect and you're tight. Not like that, Adam.
I don't know. I got excited too.
Oh, you guys too? You guys?
Sorry. Everyone erect there?
That was just me.
Don't look at my pants. But sitting here, regular muscular stature. So posture is a big thing. If I'm looking at a human being, I should be able to see the musculature in their back. That's just general standard. That's where your posture should be. Now, if I'm here, like you feel like you're good, right?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, if you looked at me from the side, I'm here. Everybody's neck's craned. To stand perfect, you look like a dick. You're here. And it looks weird.
It's true. Yeah, no.
But that's 100%. General posture. Like, like you tuck your chin, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So like one of the first things I've seen with like, so I have what they call steakhouse syndrome. I have a soft palate. So sometimes like if I'm eating and I eat too fast, I have a like habit of choking. Dude, the easiest fix for it in the world, no bullshit, is posture. So I'll do this, pull back. If you push on your chin and you take a big gulp, anything that's stuck will go down. What? It's the weirdest thing in the world. My brother has it too.
So how this relates to waist trainers, and I'm trying to see how this ties back.
We got off somewhere. I think it's something about food. It was something about food.
All right, so back to waist trainers.
Yeah, but they push your fucking organs down. So like, that's where we were. So if you're sitting up nice and tall, like everything's aligned where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you put a fucking waist trainer on, you're starting to jam your intestines down. You're packing everything into an area where it doesn't fucking belong. And honestly, I've never seen any girls who got like these crazy bodies from them. If you look at the girls who use them, A lot of them had small waists and big butts anyway.
Yeah,
And it always just looks weirdly. I feel like it always ends up looking unnatural.
Well, if you look
to
like
a detriment.
If you look like fucking Jessica Rabbit, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I've had people come to me and be like, "Well, I want to look like that." I'm like, "Well, somebody drew that, so it's not going to happen."
That's literally made up.
Yeah,
But dead
is a
serious.
fallacy.
They're like, "Well, I want that figure." I'm like, "Well, that's not human. So unless you're a fucking cyborg, it's not going to happen. Can we make your butt bigger and your waist smaller? Sure."
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think a common thing that people don't understand is that the transverse abdominis, or the TVA, is one of the best things that you can do to try and
Vacuum
narrow that
holds.
waist. Yeah, and that so using a waist trainer actually makes the TVA less strong.
Yeah, you end up with that like this distended stomach.
Yeah,
Which is like, if you look at bodybuilders, or actually now more so because of GH use, but competitive, like high level CrossFitters, if you look at them from the side, they have that distended abdomen. There's fucking abs there, but they look like they have the belly.
yeah, I've seen that.
So that's from like GH, where like they're doing the injections and
Growth hormone.
The
for people who
visceral
are
fat,
wondering.
just like underneath.
it's what it does is GH doesn't do exactly what it expands the collagen between the cells.
Oh shit.
So
Yeah, because everything
You just get
grows.
thick.
Because
bone,
it's growth hormone.
bones, everything.
Yeah, everything.
So you get
literally
that
gets
expanded collagen, then you end up with that distended
thick.
stomach. That's why bodybuilders now, if you're looking from the side, and like it's not appealing. Like, yeah, sure, you're muscular, you're gonna die when you're 48, but
That's the thing. That's why they have all like now they have like the
Well, look
men's
at-
physique as opposed to just like the mass monsters.
look at Ronnie Coleman. He's in his.
fucked up now.
He
dude.
can't walk.
He
Yeah.
literally has.
He's had
he's
7
crutches,
back
dude.
surgeries.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, he was it's funny because he was a beast before he got on gear, which is why he was so fucking.
Yeah, he was
You know,
already a natural
that guy's
guy.
a fucking cop. Was a cop
Yeah,
in Texas.
I saw because he
Dude.
had a.
Imagine that guy
documentary.
pulling you over. You would shit twice,
Dude.
Yeah.
And how tall? He's like he's like 5'11"?
No, like 5'9".
Dude. He's
Jesus
he's a thick.
He's
dude.
like 5'9", like 300 something pounds.
It's
What
absurd.
the fuck?
Yeah, that makes no sense. Like, I would look at videos, I'm like,
Crazy strong too.
is this a cartoon?
Yeah,
Because this doesn't look
but
real.
that's what drugs do.
Yeah.
People idolize them and realize that their idols are drug addicts.
Oh, man. Well,
dude.
the funny thing is like the thing that people miss with waist trainers, with skinny tees, which the fact that I still see a skinny tee advertisement blows me
all
away.
the fit tea stuff, and it's all
Yeah,
bullshit.
like
And then,
how can
dude,
you?
The like, I just keep seeing these ads for like fitness apps that'll say like, oh, diet this, diet that, and it'll show 4 pictures, and one of the dudes is like, oh, you can eat this way to get an 8-pack, or eat this way to get a 6-pack. I'm like, that makes
That
literally
does not
no-
happen.
Yeah,
So you can't just grow 2 abs. You know what I mean?
There
Like,
wasn't just like musculature that you didn't have
Yeah.
that all of a sudden you're gonna put on your body.
Yeah,
People
no.
have 8-packs, and then some people don't have 8-packs.
The fitness industry is one of the most like delusional places to be, especially with like the blow up of social media,
Oh yeah.
because you have girls and guys coming to you, well, I want to look like this, I want to do what they're doing, and then you see the workouts that these fucking people are doing. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
4x12, 4x12, 4x12,
I've been
4x12.
doing
Not even just
4x12
that,
years.
just like jumping around like a dickhead.
Dude,
and,
the
like,
fucking
oh.
bands and just like, all right, we're gonna do a bunch of crab walks and just a bunch of hip, not even hip thrusts, just like banded bullshit, like banded half squats.
Well, and they wonder why they end up hurt. So like the smallest thing can hurt someone working out, and it's not right then, but it's over time, and it can be almost nothing. Think about someone who, let's say they use the arc trainer every day for 45 minutes. That's their cardio. Let's say they do that for 6-8 years. And then you see that they can't squat correctly. And you go, oh, I wonder what's going on. Did you get hurt? Like, did you do something while I wasn't paying attention? No, but they've done an arc trainer 45 minutes a day for 6 years. So they have a bunch of built up scar tissue. And now they can't move correctly.
Mm.
So like the littlest things make a huge difference. And that's just an example.
Which actually, for people that don't know what an arc trainer is, what is an arc
elliptical,
trainer?
like just
Okay.
fucking sit there, no impact, feet back and forth.
and it's like you get into these patterns where it's like your body's just so used to moving that way. You do its slightest thing just slightly off, and boom, you get
But
an
that's
injury.
it's just not how you're designed to move. And it's on a machine, and there's no adjustment. It's restricted. That's the only place you're going.
Yeah. So I feel like if you're gonna be on the elliptical, either go on like a treadmill where you're literally just running, or like,
There's a lot of other options. I mean, that's fine. It's not bad. There's uses for it, but like those, going back to those little things, it can become a huge issue. I have a client with degenerative disc disease in her back.
Mm.
She does the best when she's doing nothing but lifting heavy fucking weights, because with degenerative disc disease, there's no fix. It's going to happen. You're fucked. So your fucking vertebrae is going to slowly deteriorate and you're going to have issues. And only thing you can do to get better and kind of fix it and make it manageable is to get really fucking strong.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So we got her to a point where her erectors were good and solid, held her spine. She's owned a skydiving center for 10 years. And last year was the first injury-free season she's ever had.
Oh.
And I had been training her for a year and getting her ready for it.
Yeah.
So she jumped 100 and something times, no injuries, no pain, like fine.
Beautiful.
She took a couple months off. She came back. We were working basic protocol. We were doing some intervals. And all we were doing is battle ropes. And it sidelined her for 3 fucking weeks because it was just enough movement to fuck with her back. So those little differences, like if you like deter from protocol, can fucking destroy people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just a good testament to how important like muscle building is for people that have joint issues.
Or just strength in general. Strong people are more useful in general and harder to kill.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want, no, but think about it.
No, it's very true.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want those things? Like if anything bad happens, and we live in a time where it could,
Yeah.
like people are fucking insane.
Yeah.
So like if some bad shit happens, do you want to be the first one they eat, or you want to be the one that survives and gets to eat them?
So like
I mean,
in the discussion about building strength, I think, and quick fixes, because that's kind of the topic here. A lot of time what I see is like people all of a sudden, it's maybe summertime's rolling around or whatever's rolling around. They got a wedding coming up and they're like, oh shit, I got to get in shape really quickly. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see people make? Even if, let's say they know it's coming up, you know, what's like some of the biggest mistakes you've seen?
They do too much cardio. Now, if you're burning fat, it's like, unfortunately, it's a must. I've gotten people ready for bodybuilding shows, had them working out twice a day and like 5 to 6 days a week, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
But they were short sessions, like 30 to 45 minutes, and doing almost no cardio and still got on stage and placed. So it's all about nutrition. So a lot of that is just a willingness of your coach to really do the research and really zero things in. Like I was taking blood work from people and narrowing things down to, all right, well, these levels are low, so we need this kind of meat or these kind of veggies. Like it's a lot of fucking work on my end, but it's like, that's the biggest thing coaches do. They cardio people to death. And they wonder why they get on stage and they look skinny and not full and jacked.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, that's just a primary example for that, like that group. And that's because that's where I see it the most.
Yes.
But in general, people do too much cardio and they don't lift enough fucking weights.
Yeah, because they think that, well, first of all, because if you go online, right? Like here's the thing. I had someone who I'm friends with on Facebook who injured themselves really badly. And I'll tell you how they did it. They wanted to lose a ton of weight, so they went online. They said how to lose the most weight as quick as possible. And they stumbled upon HIIT training with weights. And so this takes someone who's never or has not lifted in years.
Oh, fuck.
And says, we're going to do HIIT training with weights. Well, she fucking tore an MCL.
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, doing
lunges or split squats or something stupid?
Yeah, but it was like supersetted with kettlebell swings.
And doing kettlebell swings incorrectly, I'm assuming.
Oh, I mean, here's what I imagine. HIIT workout, very intense.
Yep.
Someone
sloppy,
who's
tired.
Sloppy, tired. The form starts breaking down. They haven't worked out in a while. They haven't built up the proper strength. They haven't built up the proper muscle, and then they injure themselves. And so I just think that's one of those things that people don't think about. It's like, okay, well, online, yes, maybe technically the fastest way to lose weight is HIIT cardio, but if you don't have the required...
I don't know if it's losing weight. It's the best way for body recomposition, probably, because you're getting you have the higher heart rates, so your cardiovascular health will improve. You're going to build some muscle because you're moving, got a little bit of endurance because it's long duration sometimes. Like that kind of stuff can happen, but, oh, man. The kettlebell swing's awesome, though, because like CrossFit that's one of the things that those fucking idiots did well. Fuck you, Glassman. I can't stand Greg Glassman. He's a fucking moron. Fucking John Wellborn's one of those guys too. He fucking hates him.
Oh, God.
But they introduced kettlebells back into training where like I was doing kettlebell training a long time ago just because, so the whole like reference point for my company, the whole Red Devil Performance and Athletics, is not because I look like fucking Satan. Sure, I do. But it was actually from Russian weightlifting.
Okay.
And a lot of my influence in general, like with everything is from Russian weightlifting because they were terrifying. If you think about the Olympics, like forever, when it had to come with a strength sport, people were like, oh, fuck, the Russians are coming.
Dude, they had they put a lot of money into it.
Yeah, and they gave him the best juice in the world. Like Drago, they had 10 of him.
Yeah.
But they called them Red Devils. So that's where that came from.
Okay.
That's cool.
So it's not just because I look like a little asshole.
That's funny though. It's true though. Yeah, no, they had the government put so much money, and then the Iron Curtain got lifted, and then it's like a lot of the lifting research we have is like from fucking Russia.
Dude, some of the best stuff out there is from the 60s and 70s, and it's all in Russian, and you have to have it translated. But you can do it online now, so it's awesome. Like Marinovich and stuff like that. I've read a ton of it, and it's all you have to translate it.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, but it's the best shit out there. All the principles, like all the stuff that like you see that I programmed for you, was programmed then.
Oh man,
like it's not new.
That shit, dude.
it's not new. Although like the 10 rep max sets and shit like that is not new. That's been around since the 60s.
Okay.
The same with CrossFit. It's been around since the 60s.
It's just how it's implemented.
No, it's just branded now.
Okay.
Yeah. And poorly programmed with the high rep Olympic lifts and shit like that.
I was gonna say because I think a lot of CrossFit has the initial idea of CrossFit is really cool.
It's great. It's amazing.
But I think what happened was
Bad
they made these CrossFit games. And it became about how do I prepare for the game, less so how do I make myself the top athlete. That
is single-handedly blamed on Dave Castro, who is the guy who's one of the programmers for the games. He has no fucking credentials. He's a rich little baby. His parents bought him into CrossFit, and he was a Navy SEAL, which is pretty badass.
Absolutely.
But he has no credentials in the strength conditioning world besides like, oh, my parents are rich, so they bought this because it was going to make money. And like, and the one thing that got me, so I did the I've done a bunch of the open workouts over the years, and I registered for a bunch and did it because I was in a CrossFit at one point. And it was 2 weeks in a row. I placed like third in the Northeast in one of the events. It was just 7 minutes of burpees. Did 158 burpees in 7 minutes.
Fucked up, dude. That is fucked up.
Which is not a lot. I could blow that away today.
Well, make me seem like a little pussy after that.
No, but just because being an athlete and being conditioned for it, like I thought about it, dude, I've done 100 in under 4 minutes. So, like, if I thought about that now, I could blow that out of the water. But back then when I was doing it, I was like, oh, cool, I placed real high. The next fucking workout was you had to do 30 snatches at 95, 30 at 135, 30 at 165, and then find a 1RM. So this is so poorly programmed because not only is it an Olympic lift, which is super technical, but
30 reps.
But now you have to do 90 of them and then find a 1RM with depleted fascia, exhausted, and no way you can do it correctly.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to do that, which it's already stupid, you would do that in like the reverse order.
Absolutely. Well, and you would never do that.
Yeah.
The best Olympic lifters in the world never do more than 3 reps, and it's for a fucking reason.
It's extremely technical and dangerous. Like you have to be
the most technical lift.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be 100%. Otherwise, you're going to destroy. I'm just thinking of where it's
going to die.
You're going to just fucking erase your shoulders.
Well, and then you go into imbalances. What was it? 2 years ago, there were 7 pec tears at the fucking CrossFit Games because they did snatches and then ring dips.
Oh
my God.
Why the fuck? Like, I get that, like, you want to see who the fittest in your sport is. They say fittest in the world, but it's horse shit.
Yeah, I mean.
But, because I would take any Olympic sprinter in all those events over all of them.
Fittest.
But the fittest person in that sport.
Bold claim.
But all they're doing is trying to beat the fuck out of them, see who can survive. There's no test of fitness. They're just seeing who doesn't die.
It's like a mental thing. Because, like, all those people are like, yeah, I'm totally prepared to just tear my fucking pecs. I'm just going to keep going until I tear my pecs.
Because that's what they do. And they're all like, somebody's going to get fucking wildly hurt one day. And they were like, okay, we need to tone this shit down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised that enough pec tears wasn't enough.
Yeah, 7 in like a 2-week span. That's
which
fucking
is fucked
insane.
up, dude. Like a pec tear is not like a trivial thing.
But it's because they're focusing on a lot of overhead and a lot of Olympic lifting, but they're not really bench pressing. They're not really doing push-ups. They're not doing dips. So all that little shit is it's a muscular imbalance, and they couldn't take it.
Yeah.
But we got off on this because of the kettlebell swing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
oh yeah, the MCL.
It's literally like the most fucking useful movement because of like the bilateral hip hinge, because that's all that movement is. But you see it done, and the bell's over their head. It's out. They're squatting. Like it's widely done. Very, very.
What was that most recent video? Was it like James Fonda or something? I can't. Jana.
Where they were fucking squatting.
They were like, and they were like, she was giving the cue to look through the legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
Scary, dude.
I mean, it was old, so it is what it is. But my spine exploded twice.
I was gonna say it sounds like a good way to hurt your back.
So what they were doing is they were extending the kettlebell up overhead, and then on the swing down, as it came down, they were telling them to look backwards through their legs.
Oh
These people are almost
dude.
scraping their fucking skulls on the floor.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It looked really bad.
Yeah, it was
That's just
terrible.
like yikes.
Yeah.
It's tough. Kettlebell swings are really good for like power and explosion. If you're
They're
looking
just
for-
good for health.
Yeah.
They're good for everything. I
Good
use them as a
movement to
warm up
train.
every single day.
Yeah. I think it's just the whole thing that I was getting at is just that, like, if you're trying to have like lose the most weight as quick as you can, first of all, kind of a dumb goal if you're a mom sitting at home and you have kids, and like, why?
Why wouldn't you want to be strong?
Yeah,
Well,
why
the
would
thing is,
you
like,
want
if you
Don't you
are
want to play and
strong,
lift your kids?
you just build muscle. It's like it's way easier because like people
Well, especially
forget
for-
muscle's expensive tissue. You know what I mean?
And you said it right, because especially for females, there's more of a caloric demand, and you like. I would say this right into the camera. Don't be fucking stupid. You don't get bulky. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
There is no genetic predisposition where some fucking female produces as much testosterone as me is suddenly jacked and it's like, where's my dick? Like, it doesn't happen.
Because women are like, oh man, I'm gonna start lifting and I'm gonna look like that bodybuilder. But I'm like, I lift a lot and I don't look anything like that bodybuilder. It's hard to do that.
You look more like the girl.
Yeah, big time. And I'm not trying. You know what I mean?
Except for those
This
spiderweb
applies.
veins, dude. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You got a problem.
You got a problem, huh? No, but yeah, it is funny. What's weird to me is that there's still, even with the internet, even with social media, it's still crazy to me that there's still some sort of uninformed fucking opinion about lifting weights and like looking masculine, as if lifting weights isn't incredibly feminine as much as it is masculine.
I don't know why there's a gender related to it, because if you're
There
strong,
should be.
you're strong.
It's just a health thing. It's like, do you want to feel better? Like, you want to feel light on your feet? That's the biggest thing for me.
Well, think about the world where I spent a lot of time wrestling and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Dude, if you're a girl and you're strong and you're good, you're fucking hot.
Mhm.
Like,
No, it's
think about
very
girls who are
true.
good at jujitsu. There's not a fucking one that's not in awesome shape and probably looks amazing in a dress.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very true. I mean, it's just athletic people in general. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like as just lifting weights in general, like, you're gonna first of all just feel better, even just aside from looking better. Like, that's a huge thing for me. Is like, if I get up and I feel slow, like, I hate that. You know,
Yeah.
if something happens, you want to be able to fucking go.
More useful in general, harder to kill.
Yeah, exactly. Big fucker, tough
I know,
to
I've
kill.
been trying
That's-
for months.
Dude, I swear, and I swear by it.
Whoa.
Shout out to Ryan Sansuzi on that one. So one of the things I started off doing was I worked at a CrossFit gym called Hardline CrossFit. Ryan Sansuzi, who you may or may not have seen at Just Performance, is a good friend of mine.
Mm.
Before I went back to college for my second 2 years. He taught me more than I learned in college. The guy's a fucking ninja. He's so smart. Like,
Mm.
when I had a hip surgery, he rehabbed everything, was working on my psoas and my glutes to make sure that everything fucking worked the way it should be.
Yeah.
And just, he's unbelievable. He's worked with like Kendrick Ferris. He's worked with a lot of big names. He's one of those guys who's just good at everything. Like, he's been on ESPN for like fishing, for snowboarding, for mountain biking.
Sounds like this
That's
Craig
nuts.
guy.
No,
that
very
Craig
similar.
policeman.
I've been very lucky to be around a lot of guys who are fucking incredible and made me better at what I am just because I was near them.
Mm.
Like, adaptation. Like, either I got that good or I was fucking by the wayside.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he taught me a lot, and unfortunately, he owns like a tree business and stuff now, so he has more time to work. But man, like, he's one guy. Like, if you're ever at the gym and you get a chance to talk to him, do yourself the favor, because he's like, it's like, he makes me seem dumb still.
Does he have any sort of like outlet online? Like, if someone's listening and they don't go, to
No,
that
he
gym,
doesn't
or-
really mess with training anymore, just because he owns a company called Precision Trade Works.
Okay.
So he does tree work, fucking landscaping, like
Mhm.
painting, little everything, any kind of trade work that's there,
Mm-hmm.
he can do. He's just a guy. He's a jack of all trades, man.
Okay. Well, hey, Precision Trade works if you need anything done.
Yeah.
So hold up. Actually, I don't know how long we've been going here, but the one thing I wanted to actually ask about was why is someone that says like, okay, well, like, for example, I have a family member who is like, I want to lose some weight, I want to look good, I want to be in shape. But the thing that I think they make the mistake on is they say, well, I'm going to first do my cardio and get down in weight first, and then maybe I'll think about doing weights. What's wrong with that? What is a better approach?
Well, there's no stress on muscle tissue. You're not doing anything. You're not changing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, you're making sure your heart's healthy and depleting fascia tissue as you move. So, especially for someone who needs to lose weight, someone who's obese, yeah, if you run, you're going to lose fucking weight.
Mm.
But, you want to make sure your heart rate's up. You're at an elevated heart rate for a duration of 20 minutes or longer, that you're working, that you're doing something to change. And then the cardio after is much more beneficial. I know people who still swear by it first because it makes them feel warm. But then by depleting fascia tissue, you're robbing yourself of any real strength work. Because with depleted fascia, you're not going to get so much out of your muscle because you're not going to be very strong.
So would you recommend to someone who's thinking let's say, we've talked about the quick fix thing. What if this is just someone's hey, I do want to lose weight, but I think that approaching cardio is better than approaching maybe strength training first.
I just think they're scared.
Right.
If you have hypertension or something, yeah, we'll talk about doing cardio first. Besides that, you're going to shut up and you're going to do what I tell you, and we're going to lift weights.
Yeah, that's what I tell people.
But literally every female that comes in, well, okay, I'll do cardio. And I was like, no, you won't. You're going to lift weights, and you're going to do it with intensity. You're going to do it with short rest periods, and you're going to look the way you want, much, much faster.
Yeah. Now, is there something to be said about taking that person that's maybe inexperienced in the gym and getting them stronger through standard run-of-the-mill resistance training and doing that for a longer period of time before cranking up intensity?
Yeah, you have to obviously make sure that they're safe, and you have to look at every person's different, so you have to check out their instabilities, see, maybe your hips are messed up, maybe you have bad ankles, so you can't move the right way.
So maybe we need to think about correcting some problems before we go into fucking supersets and fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, if you can't move well, I can't expect you to move in an intense fashion if you can't do it normally.
Just non-intensely.
Yeah, I think that's something that people forget about, is that weight training can solve a lot of the pain that you have. That's something
also create a ton too.
Yeah, it can, especially used improperly. It's tough because I have family who they struggle with pain, back pain especially, and so it's really hard to convince them hey, if you tried some movements, you might be able to really help it. And
back pain especially, everybody 98% of the population is so medially rotated that they're if you look at them from the side, everything is just fucking heavy chest, heavy shoulders, everything's forward.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe if you do a little weight training, develop some back muscle, and the pain goes away and you wonder why.
Yeah.
It's literally everything. You develop your back and it just opens you up.
Yeah. So do you think there's something to be said about, I'm just old? I ask that on purpose because I know the answer.
To an extent.
Okay.
I think there's going to be restrictions on training, but this is where there's scientific input on it, and then there's how I'm going to approach it. And I think you're only as old as you feel. I think at 34, which isn't very old, but it's certainly what people would refer to as past my athletic prime, because professional athletes now are between 20 and 34. So I'm past what they would call my prime, but I feel better. I'm bigger, faster, and stronger than I've ever been.
So if you get somebody who's older and just wants to kind of move better, what are the three big goals? If they just came to you and were oh, hey, I want to be able to move better. Do you have goals that you're all right, I want you to be able to do this, this, and that?
Again, case to case. I have to look at, let's see if you're flexible or not. I have to see if you're hyper flexible, if you're immobile. And all right, well, I have to fix that first. Then I have to look at your stability. I have to look at how your ankles move, how your knees travel, how your hips travel. And then especially that upper thoracic, I have to see if you're curved in, if your neck's craned. Those are huge.
Especially in old people, I feel like.
Yeah, well, because then you're looking at osteoporosis and all sorts of weird shit. General calcium deficiencies, or maybe just 50 years of bad movement patterns.
Exactly, yeah.
That's definitely my dad being in
So the testing is the biggest part, and then I can go, okay, well, I have to work on stability, and there's no reason for me to have someone 50 or older squat fucking with a barbell on their back. It's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason for me to put them squatting ass to grass with pause squats, and it has to be intelligently programmed, because it's not okay, I want to get you wicked strong in 6 months and you can do this. That's great, but I want you to be able to do it and like enrich your life, not just make you strong in the gym and then fucking ruin
It's
your
more
back.
like I can I get you to squat properly? Period.
Yeah.
Like, can you do a squat?
Like,
Just
can
with
you
good form?
not even that? Can you fucking walk up the stairs and not be in pain? Can you
Yeah,
bring the groceries in the house? Can you play with your grandkids?
Yeah,
That
that's
stuff
huge.
after a certain age, that stuff is more important than your ego and what's in the mirror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. You know, because that's like basic stuff. You know what I mean? That's stuff that if somebody who isn't into lifting wouldn't have to think, wouldn't normally think twice about. Now you're old and you're like, shit.
But
okay.
as a coach, those are the things that I bank on that make me money, because you can do all the things you want in the gym, but the most things you'll hear is like, oh, I was able to carry my kayak by myself,
Yeah.
or
Mm.
oh, I walked up the stairs and I wasn't out of breath. Those things keep those people coming back because they realize, oh fuck, it's not just the weights I'm lifting, it's my life is getting better because I can do the shit that I should be able to do.
Yeah, independently. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
freeing because you're, oh shit, I don't need help for this anymore.
Dude,
Yeah.
I had a female who's a very, very close friend of mine. Her name's Jerry. She came to me. She could not do a body weight squat and get off the ground. Like she would hit the bottom
no.
and she was there. A year later, I had her barbell squatting, front squatting, 135 pounds for reps.
Oh,
Holy
that's nuts.
shit.
But the biggest thing was, and I mean, she's a big lady, and she ran a triathlon, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
She's
shit.
5'10", 5'11", and like very tall, very rangy.
It's tough to get
Dude,
into
she was
squats
able.
like that.
She was able to squat. She was able to do a pull up. But the best thing she ever said was like, "Oh, I can walk my dogs, and I'm not out of breath, and I run a business doing that, so it doesn't hurt." And for the first time ever, I was able to carry my kayak from my truck to the water and back, and I didn't have to have my husband help me. Because
That's awesome.
that's the thing where she was like, oh shit, this is working. Because you can get better in the gym, and that feels good when you're there. It's the stuff you have to notice when you're not there that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing is that, I mean, if you have like a client, just, you know, you're doing right by them if they come back. You're not going to have to do any selling past like, hey, like, here's the program. And then they actually do it. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, they saw it. They saw what it did. So it's like a no brainer. It's like, yeah, I'm going to keep going because look at this shit.
But
that I
it's
can
one of
do.
those things where like the gym PRs are awesome and everybody gets excited about them. But the life ones are the like what the client gets excited about, and it stays there, and it's always exciting because they're like, well, if I can do this, what the fuck else can I do?
Yeah.
And then they figure out that they're not as like weak and helpless as their mindset was when they got to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You just
that's
get
when.
a better person out of it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's when you like. I hear.
Stronger, harder to kill.
That's the whole like when people like I've fallen and I can't get up. You can 100% prevent that.
Yep.
And I feel like people forget that that's a possibility.
I don't
you know?
think you can ever 100% and I mean, it's just a euphemism that you can 100% like prevent falling. You can always get the fuck up though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
that's-
what it is.
Deep. I like
Yeah.
that.
No, whether it's a gym or life, man, you can always get the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, you know, you see people that have like a really tough time moving, older people just out in public. And I just think to myself, like, I really hope when I'm that old, I can still just move normally and I'm not doing, you know, super craned neck or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. He'll be fucked up somewhere, but
Exactly.
as long as it's manageable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, I got a fake hip, a fucking messed up knee, and a fucked up calf. I'm gonna be
And you're still squatting and deadlifting more than I am.
Well, dude,
so
so-
what the fuck is that about?
The
Balls.
thing is, like,
I'm gonna have neck surgery in the next couple of years too. So
Oh.
I have 2 herniated discs, C2 and C3.
Oh shit.
Have you seen the technology on it though?
Oh well, so I know a company, Spinewave, that makes some pretty cool shit. I imagine that there's a lot of
So
really cool stuff.
forever it was like, oh, all right, those are herniated. We'll fuse them. You'll be fine. And then you end up like, oh, I have to look this way.
Yes,
You have to-
you end up like Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, you have to fucking turn. But now what they do is they remove the disc, they put synthetic ones in, and they take what's left of the disc you had, grind it into bone dust, and cover the synthetics so your body doesn't reject it.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
recovery rate is like over 85%. It's amazing.
Yeah,
That's super high.
I
I'm
feel like we
fucking
definitely learned about
excited.
that in Dr. Khan's class because he's big into tissue engineering over at UConn.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking a lot about
UConn,
that.
the sciences over at UConn are awesome. Like
Yeah.
so I went to Springfield just because at that time that was like what kind of fit my attitude the best. Josh went to UConn, so they're like competing schools, and they had much more technology than us at the time. That's why talking to him is like fucking a computer.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
They do.
Dude.
I mean, they have a lot of money into research, especially for exercise science. Like, underneath the basketball court, there's just labs that just like.
So they have a setup where, like, if you go into the athletic weight room, the athletes will go in, they'll scan their card, it'll give them a number, and that's the rack you go to, because there's a million racks and they all are like set up the same. And so you go and there's a screen and put your card back in. It gives you your workout for the day, your percentages, what you did last time.
What?
It's got a heart rate monitor. It's fucking unreal.
Dude, I want to build one of these for my house someday.
I was thinking about it,
dude. Even up at Edge in Northborough, we have heart rate monitors, and you put them on your chest. And so, like, if you do a set, you look up on one of the TVs, and it gives you the feedback, like your power output, your heart rate, how long it took.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like we're taking sports science from I got faster that set to, okay, I got this much faster. My heart rate was here. Let's improve these. Let's improve my strength and power output on those as well.
We're getting to a pretty crazy point in time as far as like the ability to analyze workouts and stuff.
We're at a crazy point in general. Think about it. There's so much out there to read, and there's so much knowledge out there that there's almost no excuse to be an idiot.
Yeah, it's true.
It's definitely getting down to it where it's like you pretty much like have to intentionally avoid information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely
there is bad information.
I was going to say as it came out of my mouth, I was like, fuck. Well, back to the whole there are skinny teas kind of a thing. It is equally as easy to find good information as it is bad information.
Yeah.
You just don't take the first thing you hear as gospel. You know what I mean? Like, look into it. You know what I mean?
That's what places like PubMed are for.
Yeah.
If it's not a peer-reviewed medical study, it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. There's a lot of truth to that because
one of the biggest examples right now, and it's kind of a hot button subject, is the documentary on Netflix, The Game Changers.
Oh God, yeah.
So they're talking about how, it's 100% like proselytizing vegans, saying this is better than this, but they put a couple of big name athletes in it, and
Arnold's attached to it too, so that's why. Dude, I guarantee.
You think Arnold isn't fucking eating a filet mignon right now? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, 100%. You just watch someone from that Game Changers documentary is going to come out with a line of vegan supplements.
Dude,
you know what I mean? They're going to be like Game Changers verified.
It's a marketing. Yeah. It's like it is a marketing ploy.
It's the same thing as what the health. It's pushed, it's paid for, and it's starring proselytizing vegans. Yeah. So these people are doing nothing. They don't care what it said. They're just pushing the agenda. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it's already been debunked. Like there's like 5 or 6 reputable, well sought out doctors, Chris Masterjohn being one of them, who was like, yeah, no, this is fucking stupid. And they're all lying, just like they were in What the Health.
Well, the thing is about, it's like, it feels like a marketing thing too, because like, people eat meat or whatever, and obviously it's not vegan, but. It's not, by the way. But like, you can't get with vegan foods. If you're making a synthetic replacement for something, you can patent that. So there you go, right there. There's a monetization incentive.
Oh, what? You're telling me they're making money off that?
Dude, and that's the thing. It's like you can't patent beef. It's a fucking cow. You know what I mean?
It's just crazy that that's kind of lie. Look at Kobe beef.
I guess that's true.
It can be done. But that's through generations of breeding and whatever else. But I get what you're saying, but like it's all money, and it's all just pushing a ploy at this point.
Yeah, it's like political now. You know
100%.
Like, when does that ever happen?
Dude, I was on a plane, and I was flying, obviously, because I'm on a plane. Oh. And
thanks for that.
That's what those things do.
And so I'm in this row, right, and directly behind me, there's a row of 3 women. And they're literally talking the whole time. Like, I can't imagine dating a boy that wasn't vegan.
Oh, Jesus
like,
Christ.
people that aren't vegan.
Why? Because you would actually have sex? Think about it, though.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
Yeah, that guy's slinging a rope. That's what's happening.
It's just funny because the whole time I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe people are this. Like, they were even saying things like, I couldn't I can't even imagine talking to someone who would just openly admit that they eat meat. And I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
Why? Why are you like, take the Snapchat? What?
That's so aggressive.
That's
so aggressive.
There's no need to be that extreme about anything.
Yeah.
Great.
But
extremes are what? Like, there's the reason we have conflict with whether it's diet, politics, fucking love life, whatever. There's extremes, and they're one way or the other. Yeah. And that's why people fucking argue. Balance is what keeps us alive, keeps things going well, and avoids conflict.
Yeah, I always say that the truth is almost always somewhere in the middle.
Dude, everything in moderation is like the most applicable saying
I know. It's almost bad that it's a cliche. I hate that it's a cliche.
One of the ones I use it for training, especially with youth. And I mean, I use it for me is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
It's true though, because people try to overcomplicate shit. And you're
Daryl Mackerel, my wrestling coach, is like always said that. He's like, yeah, well, that's fancy. Just don't do that. Like, do the things that hurt and make guys do what you want. I mean, keep it simple. Okay. Yeah. Like, I'm not very smart anyway, so I'll just hurt people.
And you're always gonna easily fall back on the basics. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why complicate? Why overcomplicate things like that? Like, especially, you know, stuff like diet and even fighting and stuff. It's like,
well,
I know your roots.
The thing is that people to try and make a quick fix or make a quick thing happen, they think that there's this kind of, I don't know if myopic is the right way to say it, but like there's this one thing like, oh, if I just eliminate carbs, if I just eliminate meat, it's easy in their minds. And so they're like, oh, well, this is the answer. It's this whole time I've been eating carbs. If I just don't eat carbs anymore, I lose weight. Well, it's like, well, you were eating how many Pop-Tarts and how many plates of pasta? And like, well, of course you're going to lose weight because you were way overeating.
But
carbs.
that's the generalization. Do you know why they do that?
Oh, yeah. Well,
because at first it works.
Mm-hmm.
All they're doing is going, okay, I stopped this. And then they're looking in the mirror and they're looking at the scale. The two things, like the mirror is great. It's a great judge. Scale is the fucking worst.
Yeah, for sure.
But those are the two things, and they're very general and they're very vague. So they're looking at those and going, okay. But they don't realize the enzymes in their liver are down and that maybe their heart rate's a little fucked up and maybe a little high because of too much caffeine or too much sodium. Like that's what I look at is like the outside stuff's going to happen. It's just going to take time. But if I fuck up your insides while I'm trying to fix your outsides and I didn't do my job and I did you a disservice in the end.
Yeah. Shit.
That's why, like, when I had you cut for that photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
That is not sustainable.
No, not at all.
You got down to 168?
Yeah, 168 and then 174 for the photo shoot day.
Yeah. And then what are you now? 190?
Yeah, like 190.
Yeah.
Flat.
And
lately I've been pretty lean, though, at 190.
You're not supposed to fucking, like, it's not something I would suggest for the average person. Like, you can't sustain that.
No.
Like when I cut weight, I can't sustain that. I'll fucking die.
Yeah. That's why when like people.
So like you said, it's balance, finding that place in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, because like that, the only reason that happened was because of the extreme of the photo shoot. It's I want to look like
absolutely.
Crazy.
But and everybody's got those events. For me, it was fights. For you, it's a photo shoot.
Yeah.
For him, it's gay porn. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
Almost on par with a photo shoot.
No, it's actually what Ramadan usually, right? That's when you fast, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your extreme. My extreme was a weight cut. His was for a weight cut, like pretty much low carb.
Yeah.
Yours is religious.
Yeah.
So everybody's got something. Is it sustainable for fucking like a year round thing? Fuck no. Imagine how bad you would feel.
Dude,
you'd weigh 118 pounds.
Yeah.
And like like Ramadan is like that important like religious event where like you're supposed to like learn something. Like that's why it's so extreme.
He just learned that he was hungry.
Yeah. Like, well, not eating all day fucking sucks. That's what I figured out this month. But
I've tried, dude. I tried fasting once. I did a 72-hour water fast. How people like, even if it's religious or whatever the reason, how people do that for like, I've seen 5, 7, 14-day fasts. I'm like, you know what? I give you credit. Is it good for you? Fuck no. But God damn, are you mentally hard?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's like, pretty nuts.
One of the quotes, and I'm going to steal it big time, but I got it from Power Athlete. I was actually listening to it on the way in.
Oh, yeah.
And it was John Wellborn's, I think, uncle who was talking about it. He said, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be hard. Because if you're not mentally tough, you're going to break. Yeah. If you're not smart, you better be fucking tough.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, man.
Shit. Well, you know what, John? It's been great having you, man.
Appreciate it. Had a lot of fun. Drank a lot of bourbon.
Yeah, dude. The whole bottle's gone, dude.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Well, so once again, John, plug yourself here. What do you got?
You guys can check me out on Facebook at Red Devil Performance and Athletics, Instagram at Red Devil Strong 3. It's under Red Devil Performance because Instagram cuts things a little short. If not, you can find me another way or fuck yourself.
There you go. Or just drive to JPF.
Yeah, JPF is not a place to find him. Anyway, so that's about it. Yeah, we'll right there.
We'll close it off. Tap it with this bottle.
Yeah, here we go.
ho, ho, ho. I'm off to deliver the gifts now. Wish me luck, honey.
Have fun, dear. Hello? Hey, Mrs. Claus, it's Christmas Eve. Your husband's not at home. He's out sliding down other girls' chimneys while you're at the North Pole alone. Well, it's a cold one, Mrs. Claus, and Santa's out in his sleigh. So I'll keep you warm on Christmas Eve, but I'll be gone by Christmas Day. I heard that you've been dreaming about a certain guy on the naughty list. Well, here I am, Merry Christmas, ma'am. Let me grant your holiday wish. He's stuffing stockings, but we will be rocking all around the Christmas tree. Oh, 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 look at Santa go, leaving you alone with me. Well, hey, Mrs. Claus, it's Christmas Eve. Your husband's not at home. He's out stuffing some other girl's stockings while you're at the North Pole alone. Well, it's a cold one, Mrs. Claus, and Santa's out in his sleigh. So I'll keep you warm on Christmas Eve, but I'll be gone by Christmas Day. He's been busy making toys for all the kids in the world. But it seems that Santa's forgotten about one very important girl. If it happens under the mistletoe, then that's where it's gonna stay. You've been strong all year long, now it's your turn to play. Well, hey, Mrs. Claus, it's Christmas Eve. Your husband's not at home. He's out eating some other girl's cookies while you're at the North Pole alone. Well, it's a cold one, Mrs. Claus, and Santa's out in his sleigh. So I'll keep you warm on Christmas Eve, but I'll be gone by Christmas Day. Old Saint Nick took his peppermint stick for a pit stop in Malibu. Now we're all by ourselves in the land of the elves in a magical igloo. Now the sun is rising, it's Christmas Day. It's time for me to go. Santa's back now, he's emptied a sack, but he never has to know what we did on Christmas Eve while Santa